Fortunately, I unmuted myself first before you said that. Hi,
You
welcome,
always
everybody.
do.
Sometimes I don't. It depends on how the sound mixer says it in OBS Studio. Anyway, welcome everybody. It is time for a premiere of a new D&D series, Children of Rath. And yes, we are all in Magic cards for the obvious reason that we're set in Magic the Gathering world. So why don't we go for the very basics of a first session kind of introduction, as everybody should give a introduction of who they are, who their character is, and we'll kind of go through there. And I'm going to go in Magic the Gathering color order. So let's start with Lindsay. Why don't you tell us who you are and tell us a little bit about Wintress.
So I'm Lindsay. I'm here to be a person named Wintress. Wintress is a core ranger who was very strong growing up, so she wanted to fight more people, so she left her people to go find stronger people to fight. Not necessarily kill, just fight. I like fighting.
Cool. And then we'll move on, of course, Blues next with Joe. Tell us about yourself and Claude.
I am Claude. I am a revived rogue, which in this world I've had many parts of many different people who've been experimented on. My name is actually an amalgamation of some of the people's personalities that have come up, and I have a very tortured background and nigh immortal.
It's fun times. And of course, following the color wheel, black is next, so why don't we move on to Lee and Maxwell, the merchant.
Okay, so my guy is a skeleton. He used to be alive, but he kind of tried to swindle the wrong guy. He shot me with a magic spell, killed me, ripped out my tongue, replaced it with a weird silver one, and that's how I'm here today. My guy has like a sort of noble background, and he was going to be a fencer, but he didn't really follow that path, so he wound up becoming a merchant and a comedian. So, and I knew Joe's character for quite a bit, so
We traveled around for a few hundred years.
Yeah, usual.
Of course, then Red is next, so Fish, why don't you tell us about Kazran?
Hi.
I keep trying to say it wrong each time.
Good. I'm playing Kazran, the goblin artificer, who was kicked out of his clan. He claims for being too smart. He really burned down half of the huts in the. But he is a former shipwright, or current shipwright, and he just really likes to make explosives, which is bad when you're on a ship. But he's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. And finally, we'll end with Green in the wheel with some Mads telling us about Carrion.
I'm Mads, and I'm here. Had to bring that back at least once.
It'll happen again.
Oh yeah, it'll happen every week, but I had to say it because it's been a long time. Give me a break, Tantus. But I'm playing Carrion, the Tiefling Barbarian, who's a bit of a nerd, believe it or not, knows how to read, likes libraries, found an ancient library, met Wintress, and then decided, hey, let's go fuck off together. So...
Let's go fuck off together.
They fucked off together.
We fucked off together, yeah. We're traveling buddies. We're finding, I don't know, something. She's looking for people to fight. I'm looking for books. It's a weird sort of amalgamation. We've switched roles here.
Fight some books.
So, I think a good place to start here before we kind of move into the session is a little introduction for mostly our audience here, as I have gone over a bit of this information. All of our crew here, our crew of people, are from a plane known as Dominaria, amongst the many planes in the Magic the Gathering mythos. Dominaria is as close to a central plane as you can get, but it's also been the source of many, many horrible apocalyptic things that have happened. The one which relates to our group of people here is the Phyrexian invasion and the overlay of the artificial plane of Wrath. You see, all of our folks here, some of them very directly, come in a way from Wrath. Either are descended from it, or in the case of Joe, Claude, and Maxwell, were there. Wrath merged with Dominaria. All of its people became people of Dominaria, and a horrible, basically, biomechanical plane tried to use that as an excuse to invade Dominaria. Yeah, the Phyrexians were horrible. Kind of a cross between, like, if you're a Star Trek nerd, the Borg. Kind of assimilate things, replace your parts with cybernetics, also experiment on you, create horrors. Really bad war. Dominaria survived. Some other things happened in the meantime, which were also very bad. Brings us to modern day, where the legacies of Wrath, after about 300 years, are still there, but hidden amongst it. And of course, we kind of pan in as a boat is sailing across an ocean. On the side of it is the Ethereal, the name of the boat. And it is traveling from the continent of Ataria and the Crozon area, a area known for druids, forests, nature, but also some semblance of civilization, to Corondor, another place that has very deep roots in Dominaria, as many places do, and has some ties there. And of course, we find ourselves down below deck as I do this with you guys. Do this here. Everybody show up?
Yes.
Ooh.
And you are
We're here.
below deck. Things are busy right now. It is actually the evening time, so the night shift is up on deck. The captain is away in his quarters, and all of you are in this small room up here. This is the quarters for you passengers. Of course, Kazan, you're playing with one of the Viashino and another goblin right now. You're playing a card game with them. Something that you're currently winning at, but most of the crew is like doing small games, hanging around already in bugs. There is a mess hall over here for those of you who want to eat. And of course, Maxwell, you and Claude are actually like sitting around the small table in this squeezed together area. There are 6 passengers. There's an older man who, as you can see, there's these little pillows here. Those are bunks. And they're 2-layered. So there's like hammocks are what used here. There's only one bed on the entire ship, and it's the captain's. Everyone else has a hammock. So the hammocks are 2 layers high. All of you are on the bottom hammocks, with Carrion, you and Wintress are the 2 down here. Wintress, you're also kind of around this table, playing like a small game with these 2 other fellows here, just to pass the time. It looked like they were having fun, and you decided to try it out. There's the older man who's up here, and there's a man who always kind of hangs around in a cloak and wears some kind of like face mask. You can see his eyes, and he kind of has like scars around his eyes, but he keeps to himself and hasn't said much. He's mostly up on deck on the, I believe is it forecastle's the front? God, if I'm remembering correctly. Just like up here. Anyway, so things are pretty quiet this time, and the night's kind of passing. Evening time is falling. A lot of the folks that were kind of partying, getting food and stuff, are settling in. Are any of you doing anything currently, or are you going to settle in for the night too?
How long have we been traveling?
This is probably, it's a sailing ship. It's not the fastest ship. One of the decent transportation. The distance on the map, I would say it's probably a 2-month journey.
Right, how long have we been?
You're probably about a month into the journey. So you're probably
Okay.
somewhere in between northern Jamora and Shiv, like in between that area there, about halfway to Thunderjourne.
Okay, so we probably have already got over the fact of what are you doing here?
It's implied the whole party knows each other at this point, right?
Yeah,
Or like
maybe,
kinda?
maybe like, you know, maybe you're not like super familiar together, but you have been traveling. Think of it this way: at least the four of you have been traveling together enough for a month, and you've probably chatted with a lot of people. I'm gonna say you probably are familiar with most of the crew. You probably know Karzan. He's probably busy with repairing stuff occasionally. Other than that, he doesn't have a lot to do. There's Grickert, who is the second or the first mate and the person in charge of the quartermaster at the same time. There is Ceris, a Venushino who acts as the sage of the ship and the map person in charge of the maps, and a couple of others, Captain Crash.
What a name.
Yeah. KR.
Hopefully he doesn't do that often.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll break the ice. Claude, what do you think of these fellow companions we've been traveling with? It's been about a month now.
People come, people go. I mean, best not ever to get too attached.
Charming as always.
Except for maybe people like you that can stick around.
Well, when you get to be as old as myself, you start to learn a few things about the world. Also, are you getting seasick or is it just me?
Do you have a stomach to get sick with?
I mean, debatable, but you know, it's the rocking. You know, it kind of makes me uncomfortable.
I find it soothing. Maybe you're not used to the hammocks yet.
I think that might be it. It's kind of, you know, it's getting in between my bones a bit. You know, it's one of those things.
I could see you getting caught up a bit.
I have a question about the game we're playing.
Sure.
Is this a winning hand, Claude?
I'm gonna roll something here, and let's see how well of a hand it is.
I was right.
Okay. Let's see what they got. Okay. It's a very good hand. And
I'm going to bluff the crap out of her then.
you have a
Wait,
very
what card game are we playing? Actually,
probably something some kind of like pokerish game, probably.
okay.
You have a decent hand, Claude. Your hand is complete trash.
Like I said, I'm going to bluff the hell out of her then. Or at least try. Not very well.
Oh dear.
No, that's a horrible hand. You should fold.
Oh.
I
Are you
mean,
sure? I'll fold. Wintress hasn't been playing this game. Wintress doesn't know what's going on.
yeah.
What's my hand?
You're definitely like one of those, like, I would compare it in poker to being like, you have a full house.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, you're pretty good hand.
It's unfair
Am I betting
to
like
play
my
against
current
a
money on you?
skeleton who can't see, who doesn't emote. Talk about a poker face.
I go all in with my chips.
Okay.
Okay. How do I roll?
I rolled for everybody, so it'll depend on what Claude does next.
Oh,
Though.
I'm going to totally fold.
Okay. Yes. You win. Claude had like a pair of twos. Yeah.
Oh dear.
I'll just look at you and kind of go, You're welcome.
Wintress had a straight flush. What
I
equivalent to
feel
that?
like something bad just happened.
Wait, I'm pretty sure that's better than a full
Yeah,
house.
it is.
She
She had the
folded.
best hand.
Wait, I thought she folded though.
Yeah, she did.
She did.
She did.
That's why I
actually.
said. That's why I was covering my mouth, going, "You're welcome."
My guy does like the fanning the money thing after like cashing in the chips.
No one's. I'm just gonna go talk with my buddy over there because I feel like something's going on at this table. I feel like I'm being lied to. I thought I was losing, but then somehow he won. I don't know. I don't know cards. Just gonna
I reach out my hand and say, "Wait, no, my chips."
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're probably playing with actual like coins. You probably have like a pile of copper, so it's not like it's it is still like penny, but you're playing with like coins,
Yeah.
actual coins.
After she walks away, I go, "Okay, my cut."
Anyway, Kazran, your game is kind of dying down. It ended up being like this interesting combination of a card and a dice game, where you kind of like roll some dice, and depending on the roll depends on like how many cards you have, and there's this weird combination between the two of them. It's a very strange game, and you've been winning a lot, and so your two mates decide to fold out and be like, too much blood, too much bad blood now. I am leaving.
Mordecai.
I too have sleep time. So you're left alone at your table. Over here is something akin to chess being played, or no, checkers. Closer to checkers. I'm sorry. They're playing like these two are playing like something akin to checkers. And right now you're off duty. There's some people above deck still working, but it's up to you if there's anything in particular that you want to do, or you can also head to bed.
I think after a very successful night of gambling, I'm going to call it before I lose all the money that I just won.
Mm-hmm. All right. So eventually, though, everybody will settle in, and night will come over the ship once again. The rocking continues, but it's a quiet thing because there's one of you who technically doesn't actually sleep. He just kind of sits there
And stares at everyone.
and stares at everyone.
Basically.
It enjoys the bunk. I mean, it's nice, it's comfy, but it's not the worst hammock you've probably slept in.
Can you turn your head the other way, please?
You're all in a row, so it's like all of you are like you can't. So it's like it's just this
Oh,
line
we're
of
lined up.
like hammocks that are like lined along the wall. So you're parallel to the outer wall, and it's like the two above it. So like Maxwell, the older man, is above you, and Carry On, the cloaked gentleman, stays above you. He kind of just slips in and gets in there and rests. The two middle hammocks are actually hooked up because there's no one using them. So though there can be up to 8 passengers, only 6 hammocks are up right now. Everyone but Maxwell, of course, falls deep asleep, and night seemingly comes over the ship.
Good night, Carrie.
Good night, Claude. I'll be watching you as always.
I feel like
Don't make me get out the blindfold.
I feel like
Still have it.
there's something related to this as the reason why you guys were gone from each other for a while.
Do you have eyes?
Oh, I do. And they're always watching.
Can you stick fingers in your eye holes to see if that's true? But I'm not going to.
So everybody will kind of doze off and head to bed, and things will get quiet for the evening, as many of the crew also settle down into bed, with a few still working about in various ways.
I would hope.
Of course, keeping the ship going. Maxwell, please give me perception.
How do I roll for that?
All right, go to your character sheet. Now you can either just open it, or you can pop it out separately if you hit the two upper left corner.
Okay.
You can pop your character sheet out into a separate window. If when you go to your character sheet, you can find under your skills perception, just click on the word perception, and you can roll it. There you go. Oh, 15, pretty good.
Sweet.
You begin to notice that the ship is rocking a little bit more, and that the wind is beginning to actually pick up.
The wind is picking up. Maybe I should mention this to my fellows.
They're all
Wait,
deep
they're all
asleep.
sleeping, right?
Yeah, they're all deep asleep. Yeah.
I kind of just let it happen. I mean, it doesn't seem anything too serious to wake people up.
Okay. That's a minus 1 to perception. Yes, this is true.
I noticed nothing.
I'm not asleep, but I don't notice anything. After like about an hour, you begin to hear this ding 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 ding.
Do we all wake
kinda...
up, or do you want to roll us to roll perception?
Yes. Can all of you roll me perception with disadvantage, except for Lee? You hear it because you had noticed some stuff earlier. I'm just keeping your perception from earlier.
Perfect.
Disadvantage perception.
Yes. Fish. We could probably set that up to.
Yeah, I can change that.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Take the 8 though.
Oh, it is. My bad.
Okay. Yeah, we can set up to toggle though. On your character sheet. Let's see here. Advantage. Yeah. Oh, so it is no. Okay, good. Okay. So all of you are very much so asleep, though. Claude, you kind of hear this ringing noise, and it kind of disturbs you a little bit.
I'll pry an eye open.
Both of you
Are
can...
you still staring at me?
He probably actually might be now, because I don't know if Maxwell got up. He wasn't technically before, he was in his bunk, but... there does seem to be some noise coming from the crew quarters. Outside of your room.
What do you think, Claude? Should we investigate this?
I guess if there's an alarm going, there's something.
I mean, for all we know, the ship could be sinking.
I would think they would try to alert us of that. But maybe that's just the bell.
All right, can we go waltz on over to it? Or...
You can exit out. It looks as though a lot of the crew is waking up in the hold area here. Kazran, you have been woken up by this too. The alarm bell has gone off. Something is going on. There's a call for people on deck.
Okay.
For full crew.
On the way out, I'll shake the two ladies' bunks.
Mm-hmm.
Something's going on.
It's in the middle of the night.
It is late and it is dark. Let's see here. On your deck, you would have probably your lower deck. There probably still would be portholes that could be opened. They're currently closed, so you can still have windows on this level at least, but not completely dark on the upper ends. But
it's probably completely dark outside.
It is completely dark outside. There's no sign of moonlight and such. As you're all waking up all of a sudden, can you please all give me, I'll say, Winrus, you and Carrion can give me dexterity saves. Maxwell, you, Claude, Karzam, the three of you give me dexterity saves with disadvantage.
Rolling well tonight, y'all.
Not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
How does disadvantage work?
Okay, let's see your character sheet. I don't know if we had.
You should have on
Okay,
the very
see the top it says-
disadvantage, normal disadvantage. Click on disadvantage and then roll the check.
Gotcha.
Yep. Okay. Wow. So the only one that failed is, of course, Carrion, who all of a sudden the ship dips and twists back up as if it hit like a wave, a very large one. Carrion, you're tossed from your bunk, kind of very violently, kind of rolling back towards the back of the cabin, as the rest of you kind of like catch yourself or brace.
Ow.
It sounds painful, actually.
Carrie, are you okay?
I'm alive. So that's
No
good.
sprains or bruises?
Oh, I'm sure my head is bruised, but that happens a lot. Maybe we should stay down here. Sounds like maybe there's bad stuff above. Not like bad people, more like bad waves.
Bad waves indeed.
I'd rather know what's going on than just sit around in the dark.
That was it was a big wave, and if something's causing those waves, we should help out any way we can, since if this boat goes down, we all go down.
I
Does it
agree.
sound like-
Let's not be sunk by an iceberg.
Does it sound like a storm outside at all?
There is lots of wind going on outside, definitely.
Okay. I'm gonna put my hood up.
I do the cool guy thing where I like do the hands for like the cloak or whatever, and then like just start walking forward a bit, kind of hoping people follow my lead.
Okay. You can leave the room and see that a lot of the crew has left. Karzan, what are you going to do?
Oh, I'm heading up deck.
Okay. So yeah, you can be up on deck with the rest. It is a very large storm that seems to have come upon you suddenly. There was no sign of it in the distance previously, and it definitely is hitting you quite well right now.
All right. That's bad.
So, what are you going to do to assist with here? It's my question to you. You've got options. The rest of you can then exit out onto deck and kind of see that there is a storm brewing. You'll kind of like, there'll be shaking and rocking as you move out onto the deck. As you can see, there's a number of folks trying to get up into the masts to secure the sails. Had to think there for a moment about that. Tying things down, kind of securing a lot of stuff as like there are like barrels rolling around that people are trying to catch. It is dark, and there is only some flickering lights from the lanterns, which are kind of hung up here. You can see them like right here and such. I'm gonna just move. Hey,
Max, stay away from the sides. You know you don't float well.
You also
Funny.
gotta be like up on deck.
Can I cast a spell?
Sure, if you want to catch a spell.
Okay, cool. So I want to use dancing lights to kind of help out some of the people trying to like tie the masts and stuff.
Okay. You'll cast your dancing lights and throw them up into like the air above, kind of so that they can get a sight of what's going on here. You can already see that the captain is up towards the wheel and seemingly taking control of it himself. Let me position him there. He will yell down towards you as you're kind of like helping out. Your assistance is great! but it will be none needed in this case. Kazran, take them down below. Make sure that the any kind of no water is coming on. Maybe they can assist with that.
Yes. And Kazran's going to gesture for all of them to follow and then head back down.
Okay.
If that's where we're best needed, then I will follow.
Okay.
I'm a little bit peeved because the guy didn't like really say thank you. It was kind of like passive aggressive, but I kind of follow the party anyway.
Down in the bowels of the ship, you can see that a lot of the... I'm just going to move everybody kind of down here as you kind of arrive down in the hold. There we go. Most of the stuff is strapped down here, so everything seems alright. Most part. There's a couple of items which are now kind of moving around, kind of loose, a couple barrels which have gotten loose that are rolling, a couple crates which are kind of sliding around, and all of a sudden can all of you give me another dexterity save as you're hitting another big wave.
Disadvantage again?
No, you have advantage this time. You know that there are possibilities of big waves.
Advantage or normal?
Normal. You can all roll normal.
Okay.
I rolled advantage, my bad.
Ooh.
Oh, crap.
Alright, so...
Uh-oh.
Kazran,
Mine.
you're the only one that makes it. The rest of you... let me just roll something here. The rest of you take 4 damage as you're flung into boxes and crates and stuff, kind of cracking yourselves. As all of you are down the ground. And notice that there is some water in here now. Like this kind of cold, salty water that has an odd kind of brine and smell to it. Kind of spills over you.
Can I
Okay,
see
that wasn't good.
Is there like a hole anywhere that I can see?
Give me perception as you kind of search the area.
Great.
Alright, you have noticed that there are a strange kind of green mess that seems to be kind of forming on some of the walls around here. It's quite unusual. You've not seen anything like this before. It seems like this weird greenish, almost kind of like barnacle growth that seems like a cross between barnacles and mold.
That's bad.
And it seems to be growing actually quite rapidly.
Okay.
Like it's spreading on the inside, and it's kind of bubbling out this kind of like watery ooze that's now like filling the kind of water which is sloshing in from above. Because you are getting some slosh in, of course, from like the waves and stuff and the rain coming down.
Shit. Okay, I'm going to head over to the nearest one that I can find and I think try to pry it off. I have a sickle. I'm going to try to scrape it.
Okay, you kind of scrape into it, and something strange happens. Your sickle goes into it.
Oh. Bad.
And let me just do something here. Boop. And we're gonna put Kazan's like checking stuff out here. Oh look, there's a friend that pops out of it.
Shit.
And there's another one over here. I'm just gonna move you guys where you're kind of like, I'm guessing you'd gotten up and were like investigating with them. And there's one over here. Kind of like, I'm actually over here. They're crawling over the containers and stuff, and come out of the 3 kind of areas, these large things that look almost sort of strangely crab-like, kind of move out. They look like horse-sized crabs, except they're kind of like spitting out this like kind of greenish goo as you see it kind of come out and hit the containers underneath them. You see it kind of sizzle and burn away.
When did the holes get big enough for these to crawl through?
I don't think these are normal holes.
Roll initiative, please. Let me open the initiative tracker.
And then click your tokens.
And then
Click your token.
So yeah,
before-
highlight your token. That's on the board. Like click on it, so all the information comes up. and then on your character sheet, click your initiative.
Where's
I'm rolling like
initiative?
garbage.
Initiative is next to your AC.
Towards the top. Yep.
Right under where it says normal, advantage, disadvantage.
I see.
I should
I'm
let you
rolling
know,
lovely tonight.
my initiative is 1 point higher because I used my infusion that boosts my defense.
I think
So I
I
have
rolled
a
it.
15 instead of 14.
That just freaked me out. Great. Alright, thank you. So you have a... What's your initiative? Sorry, I got distracted by something.
No, my armor class is boosted.
Oh, your armor class is boosted? Okay, great. Good to know. Okay, that's the amount it is. Descending order. Alright, they are up first.
Yay.
Okay.
My favorite.
So one of them is going to spray this kind of greenish ooze at Kazan. One of them is going to go for Carrion, and the other is going to go for Wintress. Yeah, they can't quite get any. They can't get multiples in their lines. So all the three of you give me dexterity saves, normal ones. All right. So Kazran makes it. Let's see here. So Kazran, you'll take 5 acid damage. Wintress and Karen, you'll each take 10 acid damage. As you can see, like the spittle kind of grunch across the room, kind of causing damage to the boat, as it kind of drools from its mouth and kind of goes.
Gross.
Mm-hmm.
How that hurt?
They will be done, and now it will be Maxwell's turn. They have these 3 horrible, weird crab monstrosities that have emerged from the walls.
Oh boy. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, hold on. Am I close enough to Claude where I can use heroism on him? Because I gotta touch him for this.
You could take a step forward, and then you would be close enough to him. You are technically next to one, but if you're within its reach, you do not incur attack of opportunity.
Okay. So I wanna do heroism
so you can take
on
a
Claude.
step up here and give Claude. Heroism.
I feel heroic.
As you should.
Do you have that spell on your sheet fully put out? Entered.
Yes. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, click the spell actually.
Or
and it'll
click
show-
on, if you click on the spell, it'll put it in chat.
Yeah. There you go.
Sweet.
Okay, so at the beginning of each of its turns, it gains temporary hit points equal to your spell casting ability modifier. What is your ability modifier?
Where do I see that?
You are a bard, so it's charisma. What is your charisma modifier? It should be.
Charisma modifier is 2.
So at the beginning of each of your turns, Claude, you gain 2 hit points. Okay, Wintress. This horrible crab appeared from the wall across the boxes next to you, and then spit acid at you.
And rightly so, Wintress is going to be mad and cast Hunter's Mark. On...
The one
That
right next to her?
yes.
Yeah, that one. Okay.
And going to take a swipe at him with one-handed core.
Yep. Alright, you kind of swipe at it, you miss. I think Hunter's Mark just gives you extra damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Claude, gain 2 temporary hit points.
Yes.
And
Okay.
he's extra brave.
I will try to rapier it. The one next to me.
Yep.
That's probably going to miss.
It will indeed miss.
Then I am going to use a disengage.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to bolts from the grave.
Okay.
Do-do.
Your bolts from the grave will indeed hit this time. You'll feel the souls of those within you, and you're going to pour it out upon this creature.
For 11 damage.
All right. It kind of bashes into it. One of its like kind of crab-like legs with strange like green barnacles on it that kind of like twists in ways that you don't think a crab leg would twist. Gets burst off from it from your attack, kind of flying out with this kind of like weird greenish ooze kind of coming out of its body. It does not seem acidic though. Just you're okay on that end, you know, but it does have more green horribleness that comes out of there.
Reminds me of the lab.
Kazran.
I'm going to throw down a turret.
Okay. My turret.
All right, Torbjorn.
Yeah. How do you want to do this?
I will give you something. I don't know what yet. That would be a good turret token.
Easy thing sometimes, if you go into the assets and just
Fairy
type turret,
dragon.
you might be able to find something easy.
Give him Fafnir.
Oh god! Faffy!
That's a terrible idea.
There.
He's like,
Here.
"Yeah, I
You
get that."
control this turret. It's a fairy dragon.
Excellent.
Where did you throw it down? You can move it.
That right there is perfect. 'Cause
Okay.
that's the only horizontal space within 5 feet of me. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
And as a bonus action, it can. I'm using the Force Ballista turret. And as a bonus action, I'm going to have it attack the thing right there in front of me, the big crab.
Okay. Does that count as a ranged attack?
It's a magic attack, but it does not matter.
Well, was it a ranged magic attack or not? Because if so, it would have disadvantage technically, and when you could actually. Well, the disadvantage wouldn't matter anyways. You rolled a 1.
Yeah, I did. I did do that.
Okay. So, Carrion.
I've been thrown across the ship twice, and now got spit on.
You did get
I'm gonna fucking rage. However, her rage does not look like Gur-R. It's almost like the air around her gets colder. And then I'm gonna fucking reckless attack glaive this bitch. The one in front of me.
Yes.
I'm guessing a 23 hits.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so 12 damage, and is it... What's the range? I always forget. Is it plus 2? No, it's plus... Yeah, it's plus 2. So, 14 damage.
Okay. It hisses at you, very unhappy, as you, again, like, similar to, like, the bolts from the grave, you lop off a couple of those limbs, and they kind of fly off with this kind of, like, weird spray. Very gross.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It is their turn next. The one will continue, I guess they'll continue to attack whoever they were attacking, because they have no other reason not to. Though, I mean, this one certainly doesn't like Claude, because it got attacked from behind, but then there's like this thing here that's shooting at it, and actually it'll probably go after this thing that like threw something at it, assuming it's go. Does your turret have hit points?
It does.
Okay. I will roll that one first, followed by Carrion and Wintris then. Okay. Your turret is certainly missed. Right. Okay. Carrion. It would have advantage against you, so we'll roll a second one, wouldn't it? Because of Reckless. Alright. What is your AC? Let me check it. It is 13. You will be clawed, as it will take its like pincers and come in on you.
I'm turning into Claude?
Sure.
I think it turned into
So you take half damage from slashing, I assume, right? Because you're raging.
Yes, sorry, I'm on mute.
Yeah. You will take 5 damage then, and You are grappled in its claws. Wintress, your AC is 16? Then you will be missed. It will try to claw you, and it will miss you. You nimbly like step out of the way as its claws come down, kind of like doing a little bit of splintering to the bottom of the ship, enough that there's like this like kind of little small drops forming. That maybe this battle is not the best idea for long term. Anyway, Maxwell.
Oh boy. So my turn, huh?
Yes.
Can I cast? So Carrion's stuck in like the spider thing's grip.
Yes. It's got like these kind of weird kind of crabbish claws that's got kind of around Carrion right now.
Okay. Also, how does the bonus action work?
You get one a turn.
Oh really? Oh, so last turn I could have used Bardic Inspiration as well.
You could have used Bardic Inspiration as well.
Interesting. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I want to cast. Oh man, what spells can I use? So I have like a spell called Shatter, but that hurts allies if they're too close, right?
Yes.
Shatter has an area to it, so if you would do it within the correct area.
I'm pretty sure this space is too small. It's like 20 feet. It's big.
Yeah,
Alright, I want to use
a 10-foot radius, so you need 20 feet. So this area here is definitely not great.
Not a good idea.
Okay, I want to do Hideous Laughter on the spider that's near Carrion, and I want to cast Bardic Inspiration on her.
Okay.
So...
Well, I think Bardic Inspiration goes for everyone.
Oh, is it?
No, you go to one person.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're thinking Pathfinder
I'm
or
thinking
earlier
Pathfinder,
editions.
yeah.
Or earlier editions, yes. It's an extra dice you can
roll
use.
for this?
It has to make a Wisdom save.
Okay.
For Hideous Laughter and Carrying.
I don't know if I want to hear this thing laugh.
It's gonna be bad.
That's what it sounds like.
Oh god.
It doesn't laugh.
Wait, what?
Creature of an intelligence score of 4
Does it not have
or
the lungs
less.
for it?
No. Creature of an intelligence score of 4 or less
Yeah,
is
it probably
effective.
isn't smart enough.
It is dumb.
It doesn't get your joke.
Yeah.
Wait, does that mean my turn's wasted? Because I didn't know that.
Yep.
You wouldn't. You don't know what
Oh,
his intelligence is.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, that's the thing
Yes.
is, if you don't know what it is, you kind of guess, and you try to... Wintress.
So me. I'm going to try to slash it with my hook again.
Okay. You have had some bad hook rolls.
Ooh.
Isn't that the same? No.
It's slightly worse. Unfortunately. Alright. Doing any bonus actions?
No.
Okay. The next up is Claude.
Okay, I will short bow the one by Kazran.
Mm-hmm. You'll hit it.
Nah.
You can sneak attack, remember? You're a rogue.
Yeah, I'm holding that for a second.
Okay.
Because then I will hide and use my bolts from the grave by the one by Carrion.
Okay, so you're going to use your bonus action hide. Please make me a stealth check, opposed by its wisdom perception. You have a 20. Let me see what its perception is. Alright. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and roll your bolts from the grave attack. You will have advantage against that one.
Okay.
Wait a second. Is bolts from the grave a bonus action in itself?
Bolts from the grave. It says, immediately after you use your cunning action, you can make a ranged spell attack.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. How
I had to
sure.
make sure I didn't use my sneak attack to be able to do it, though.
Okay. Interesting.
That's the trade-off.
Ah. Okay, I get it. I couldn't remember you. 16. Let me check. 16 will hit. So you'll
For 12.
You have 12 damage to that one.
Let her go.
Okay. Kazran.
Yes. So, I, Kazran,
Mm-hmm.
am going to attack it with my sickle,
Mm-hmm.
because it's in melee range and half.
Yep.
So we'll try that first. At the same time, my turret is going to back up a little bit. It has a climbing speed, so it's going to clamber onto the box.
Yes. It will take its opportunity attack.
Yes.
And what's its AC?
18.
It will certainly miss your turret then. You will
Great.
hit, though, with your sickle.
Awesome. 4.
Okay.
And then the turret's also going to make its attack, because that's the same. It can move and make an attack on its bonus action.
Yep. Nope. Your turret will kind of hit into one of the boxes, kind of like creating a little bit of damage at it, as looks like some grain from one of the containers kind of pours out.
Oh.
Carrion, you're grappled, but that really doesn't do a lot. You can't move. I mean,
I can't move, but I can still stab.
you can still stab, because
Exactly.
grappled just restrains you.
Exactly. So, stabby stab. Reckless with
Yep.
glaive. Does a 15 hit?
A 15 will indeed hit.
Fuck yeah. 8 damage, and I did add the rage this time. That's why it says glaive/arm.
Okay, so that would be 8 damage it takes. Okay. What's that one? Gotcha. Okay. They will go. One will turn to Kazran, because you're right there. One will continue its fight on Carrion, and the other on Wintress. Okay, Kazran's AC is 15. Carrion's 13. Wintress is... advantage. Doesn't do anything better for it. Okay. So, Kazran, you will take 10. Wintress, you will also take 10. And Carrion, you will take 5.
10, okay.
And all 3 of you... Well, I mean, Carrion, you've been grappled, but all 3 of you are grappled now. Okay, Maxwell.
Oh boy. Let me see. I'm not really okay with my teammates almost dying.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really trying to like rack my brain. Is there any way I can distract the spiders? Or are they not smart enough for that?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, you could attempt to, like, try to lure them to attack you if you wanted to.
Okay.
I mean, your vicious mockery would probably work on it, because it doesn't have to be smart to work on that.
That's true. I was wondering, because I thought that was like a mental thing. I'm like, wait, maybe it won't work on spiders.
It has a mind. I mean, it's just not a great mind.
That's fair.
Yeah, you're just you insult its brain, whatever it is.
I stepped on your mother.
Or you could just try
Hold on.
like a melee or range attack if you have a decent one.
Okay, so I want to do this. I want to use Healing Word on Wintress.
Okay.
So... Hold on, let me just do this.
And how many spell slots do you have now?
I should have 1 more remaining for level 1.
Yeah, you had, well, you've used a level, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can use a higher level slot for a lower level spell, too, remember.
Oh,
Sometimes-
really? Would that work for
yeah.
Healing Word?
Yes.
Yes, you can heal more with Healing Word then.
Yeah.
Yo, I want to do that.
Okay, so you lose the second level slot. Why don't you click on Healing Word, we'll see what it should, I think it adds more. Let's just check Maxwell quickly.
It's already put on there.
No, but I mean,
Yeah,
like,
but it doesn't have the full text.
you add an extra D4.
Oh no, it already added it to the roll.
Oh, because you did do it on a higher level cast.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it worked. Oh yeah, so you heal Winter's 8.
Sweet. And I also used my last cast of bardic inspiration on her.
Okay. So
I whip out the loot and I play a sick tune saying like, "Hey,
so
now's your time to shine."
Carrion
lady.
has some inspiration, and Wintress has some inspiration right now. Then.
Have you sharpened your bone fingers to picks, basically?
Oh, Claude, do you remember you added 2 to your temporary hit points again?
Oh yeah.
Last turn.
Does that stack or does that just replace?
It does, I think.
Oh.
Let me look up heroism.
Because that's what I wasn't sure about. Because if it just replaces, I'd still be at 2.
Yeah, you just keep gaining them.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I didn't want to.
After the minute, they'll go away if you don't.
Right.
Okay. Wintress, you're up. You have a bardic dice, which means after you roll, but before I tell you if you hit or miss, you can add a d6 to your roll.
Huh.
It's up to you when you use it, though.
Yeah.
That's a cool ability. I like that.
I'll try my hook again.
Okay. You will hit this time.
I clap in the distance.
So you'll do 9 damage.
Plus, Hunter's Mark.
Yep.
Which is 1d6.
Extra 5. All right. As it's kind of like you get into its its chest body area, kind of getting your hook into it as it's got its claws around your arms, and so this greenish ooze that's in part of its body kind of spills out as it kind of screeches at you. Claude. Gain 2 temporary hit points.
Looks the worst off. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to first short bow the one on Carrion.
Okay. You will hit. It falls over dead. Your shot kind of rings into it, kind of hitting into its head as it's got these kind of glaive stabs into its chest as it finally kind of screeches a little bit, kind of collapsing on the boxes, its claws releasing Karen.
Nice. And then I will hide.
Okay. And which one you both see?
I'm going to Kazran. Yeah.
Kazran's. Okay.
Yes. Do I have advantage or is it
You
normal?
do.
Okay. And some more bolts.
It'll certainly hit.
For another 12.
Yeah, nice. Kazran.
Yeah. Hang on. I just realized I didn't actually write the spell descriptions for the spells that I have. So I'm editing that in now. But what I am casting is Thunder Wave.
Okay.
Okay. Should I just tell you what it is since I don't have
I can quickly look that up. And
I have the description pulled up.
okay. If you want to, roll your 2d8, let me roll its con save. Let me look up what its con save is. Okay, great.
And I know I don't have a high save DC, but damage is damage.
Yes. What is your DC anyway?
12.
All right, roll your 2d8. Okay. You kind of blast into it with your thunderous hit. That kind of echoes with actually some thunder that kind of comes rolling in from the outside now. As the storm seems to be intensifying. As its body kind of crumples over and kind of rolls over some of the material, and it is also dead.
Rad.
Yeah.
And then there's still one left, right?
There is still one left.
I will have my turret take a shot at that.
Okay. Let me check here. Your turret will hit.
Finally.
I know.
Huzzah.
This is the turn of finally hitting.
It is also pushed 5 feet.
Okay, so it'll probably be pushed this direction, because really the only direction it can be pushed.
Mm-hmm.
So it still has Winris in its claws, but it kind of like twists and gets like kind of like weirdly on the boxes, kind of confusing it. Carrion.
Push me too.
Yo, I am no longer grappled, so I can run over here and help my friend.
Mm-hmm.
You
And I
finally
can-
showed up.
Had my own problems to deal with. And reckless attack. Mean thing.
You will hit.
8 damage.
Okay.
Trying to get it to focus on me.
I should probably put this all right. Those. All right. It will still try to like crush Winris, and she'll actually manage to hold its claws back. You know, you kind of have it on you. You're using like your hook to like make sure it's not crushing into you as it's trying to bear down on you, kind of like this weird crab monster. It's got that kind of gnashing crab mouth.
Stop
Yeah.
touching me.
Maxwell.
It's giving you a gentle massage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery on that crab thing, and I'm gonna hurl it a string of insults. But more importantly, I'm gonna insult its mother because that's a very tender spot. You know.
Click on Vicious Mockery, and then I guess roll. There you go. 4. It's a Wisdom save. Okay. Let me roll.
Oops, I think I did it twice.
Yeah, you did. It's the same roll you got. All right. It is viciously mocked.
Your mother was a clam.
Winris. Wintress. I will get names down properly eventually.
No, you won't.
I will attack with my hook again.
Mhm. Oh!
Yes!
Critically.
Yo!
Woo!
You certainly hit then. Quick that critical damage. And you can roll 2d6, because your Hunter's Mark would also be doubled.
And then I also get Colossus Slayer.
What does your Colossus Slayer do?
When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, the creature takes an extra 1d8 damage if it's below its hit point maximum.
Okay, it certainly is. So you would deal it an extra. You roll your core hook damage, and then roll extra 2d6 and 2d8. Is that critical? It is. You just rolled low. Wait.
Is it? Because I just rolled it normally.
Oh, then roll it hit again then. Well, actually, roll an extra d4. Roll d4, 2d6, 2d8.
Wow.
So, 9.
Do you still have my bardic inspiration?
It's to hit, and she doesn't need that right now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that would be overkill. but-
9,
12.
12. And plus 5 is 17. 17 still kills it, though.
Wow.
I was really mad that it almost killed me.
It was beating the crap out of you. And so the last one of these things falls. As soon as all 3 of them are dead, you notice that the kind of green areas that they were kind of originated from begin to shrink up and disappear.
Never come back here.
Mhm.
I will hook you.
That was odd.
You don't like crabs. Shit.
Am I the only one more impressed with Wintress's ability to kill that thing? More so than the things that tried to kill us?
They kind of start to like pop and ooze and kind of like dissipate into this kind of greenish slime, which now there's some water pours in as like another wave hits you, and it kind of like mixes into this kind of weird vile brine that's at the base of this in the cargo hold.
I think someone needs to tell the captain what's going on down here.
I will.
There may be stuff going up there too.
So yeah, Kazran's going to start heading up deck to see if, anyone else has been experiencing weird crab trouble.
I want to follow him because I don't want my my cloak to get damaged.
So, I mean, he might suggest to also use the bilge pump to get the water out.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is one here. You know.
I could try.
Mhm.
Pray tell, what is a bilge pump? Is it anything similar to a mop?
It is a pump that removes water from the bottom of the ship. And it requires basically a strong arming a device.
Yeah, not exactly my strong suit.
It will not completely. It's not really meant to like completely remove water. Just a bunch of pump like things like storm water coming in or water coming in from like waves and stuff. It is meant to fight hauling. Although there is some damage to the ship that probably should be repaired from acid and claw marks.
Great news. I can patch that.
Yeah.
Wait, how large is it?
Well,
Like-
there's these like claw hits next to Wintress, which have had this like kind of tiny squirts of water.
Oh, and I'll
Is,
just
is it circular at all?
I mean, they're like giant claw hits into it, so
Okay.
maybe ish.
I'll cast Mending.
Yeah. All right.
Which for me, I don't technically cast spells. I just have a bunch of gadgets that do things for me. So it's pace. It's just really good pace.
You have a pace gun.
Oh yeah.
You have a caulk gun.
He's
Yeah.
got that. He's got that like glue gun from Prey.
Yes, the crew gun from Prey.
I
Yep.
just pull it out and fix up all these holes because that's my job.
Yep.
I was gonna say, as he's mending it, I hold up my 1 pound bright red egg, look at it, and be like, "One day I'll find a use for you."
Well, as you're kind of taking care of the remainder of business down here, of mending and pumping the bilge, we will take our first break, though, now that the combat is over, as you recover from this strange situation that occurred. As these things are becoming like this weird greenish oozy seawater you're pumping out now. Let's just get it out of here. It's gross.
Yep, I'm pumping it out.
17 balls.
They melted very unpleasantly. But yeah, so if you need to use the restroom, grab a drink, grab a snack, go ahead and do that. We'll be back in like a couple of minutes. So quick break for folks, and we'll see you when we return.